Hello.
It looked like you were about to just like spit it out.
Oh, I've like
little hearts on it. Are they leaves or
so,
hearts? Little green frog lily pads or something. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to HotFix. For those of you who are listening and not watching, you have no idea what we're talking about, but Sty was holding his mug up to the camera. As in his mug of tea, not his face. His face does not have printed patterns on it, but his mug does. This is our laser-focused video game topic, hot discussion, industry
that's probably
news
the least the most
podcast.
half-assed laser-focused thing I did there. I just went...
And it's so laser-focused that we started out talking about a cup. So, yeah, that's how we roll around it.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Welcome. As always, HotFix is funded by the kingly and saintly people who have supported us via Patreon, which you can do so up there in the little corner, and down there in the link in the description. I pointed towards the monitor for some reason. Down there, link in the description. If you support between now and the next HotFix, then you will get a shout out and a little segment at the start of HotFix like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your support. So we have Thomas Gittings, you filthy little git. Thank you for the support. We have a post of Natty Red, and he says, I love your work... Well, he or she, whoever the hell you are, Natty says, I love your work, chaps. Only came across you from when you were on the Co-optional podcast, and I have binge-watched most of your content since then. Keep up the good work. Peter Layfield, thank you for the support. Dominic Ferry, thank you for the support. Ramlin, thank you for the support. Nicole, thank you for editing your support. Beautiful. You actually increased it. Thank you very much.
Good Lord.
Mark Green, thank you for the support. Aaron Broodnell. If only that was Brunel, but it's Broodnell. Broodnell. I don't know. I can't read. I can't speak either. Thank you for the support. Aaron has got a post, though, and he says, I'm just a peasant. Buy me some shoes. I'm already supporting you on the main Patreon, but now I'm supporting you on HotFix. Beautiful. Kittimer has edited his pledge down, so fuck you, Kittimer. Reese Middleton. Reese Middleton. Reese? Who is Reese? I mean, I can't read. Thank you for the support. But seriously, Kittimer, thank you for the support. Lucas Ferran. Jesus Christ. There is a line through the L.
Is that his last name? Jesus Christ?
No, there is a line through the L. There is an L with a line through the middle of it. Lucas Franker. Thank you for the support. I think that's Zol, isn't it? Anyway, thank you for the support. Kai Dubis, thank you for the support. And a new post by Nicole. I was wondering why the Patreon isn't per episode, but then I thought I could just add $$ to the per month amount. Didn't up by much, so no need for a shout out. Well, you just got a shout out. So, and then another message off Nicole. I got a minute.
It's not the same message twice, is it?
No, it is different. I just need to vet it to make sure it's not inappropriate for our audience.
Abusive. Sexually.
It's just the same message again.
Yeah,
but
so it's
worded differently.
Okay,
it's
fair.
like, okay. Barbarian, thank you for the pledge. The Badger, thank you for the pledge. Spike Shape, thank you for the pledge. Christopher Potter, thank you for the pledge, sir. Robert David Sturman, thank you for the pledge. And Imako Chan, thank you for the pledge. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for supporting us on Patreon. It keeps the show going. As Kiri said before, links are on the video and in the description below. Check them out if you love the show. Let's do it, Mr. Kirioth. Let's fucking do it!
Let's start with the biggest news of the entire year. It's not really. Some people would have you believe that, but it's not. That is the fact that Fallout 4 has released. It is now present. It is open. It is in the wasteland. You can go around in your power armor and punch, what are they, death claws and giant super mutants and so on and so forth. But all is not well. And there's a couple of things that I thought we should talk about just because, it's just nice to discuss these things. So, firstly, there is this post that I discovered on Reddit.
Can I just say something before you go into this post?
Okay, so I'll go back to the
before we even have to deal with these problems that Kirioth's going to outline, let me just explain to you my experience with Fallout 4. So, the technical experience, not my gameplay experience. I'll tell you about that in podcast, which is out on Saturday. The field of view is atrocious, so you have to go in and edit the field of view in the ini files, which isn't a difficult thing to do. But, maybe it is fairly technical to most people. But I guess if you're a PC gamer in this day and age, you should be able to do it. There are 3 ini files, right? There's 2 in your documents and there's 1 in the game folder. But that's not all you need to fix, because in their infinite wisdom, Bethesda decided that the mouse horizontal or vertical acceleration shall be twice as slow or fast, and it's either one way, as the horizontal. So when you move up, you basically have to put twice as much effort in, or half as much effort in. I'm getting a bit confused, but basically one of the values is double the other one. So it makes no sense when you try and move the mouse; it goes all over the screen, doesn't it? Why would that be in the game? So you have to fix that in the INI file. There's also mouse smoothing, which is terrible. So you've got to get rid of that. And there were some other little tweaks you've got to do to just even make the game playable, which I think is a complete disgrace. And also, it's pretty funny because you know what? They sell Fallout 4 branded mice.
Yeah, see, this is this is one of the things that I was gonna say. Like as we went through this, is they made a big deal about PC players can just play the game however they want. You know, nothing is limited, nothing is locked to PC players because you know Fallout is big in the PC world, all the mods and stuff, all the community support. You can do whatever you like with it, which is why you've got to edit the field of view in an INI file, and there's no option for it in game, as far as I'm aware. Why you've got to sort out the mouse sensitivity, which for some reason is more sensitive one way than the other, which again makes no sense. Which is why the mouse
has smoothing, so it's terrible.
Which everyone always turns off. Everyone does. No one likes mouse smoothing. No one ever sits there and goes, my favourite thing about that game was it was the mouse smoothing. That was easily
it's just
the best
a remnant of controller support. That's why the horizontal axis or the vertical axis is half the sensitivity, because it's something to do with controllers. It means it's easier to control, so you can turn around quicker or something. It's something like that. But if it's the launch on PC, I find this offensive, right, as a PC gamer, where you develop a game and you just give it to us, and it's just the game is in its console format, but all you've done is unlock some of the visuals or increase some of the values, so your view distance is further, the floor renders bloody further away or something like that.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I mean, just to quickly jump on performance of the game before you get into it. On my rig, it worked okay. I mean, we were looking at like 90 FPS pretty much all the time. But obviously, as Mr. Kirioth is going to say, this has some frame rate, has some interesting effects on this game.
Well, yeah. So this is something that turned up on Reddit, as I say, about a day or so ago, and I'll play the video that's embedded actually in the page. In fact, no, I won't. I'll go full screen with it. So this is someone demonstrating a pretty severe flaw with the game. You can see there's an FPS counter up the top left on this video, and what the problem is that the way you're supposed to do things with games, and they tell you this, and I was told this in university, and I didn't even specifically study game design. I was just doing a general IT course with a heavy lean in towards programming. There are supposed to be basically two different refresh rates in a game, to put it really basically. The first is actually in the game itself. It's supposed to be like a constant tick rate, and that stays the same all the time. And you base all of the physics, all of the movement, you base the way the engine works off that internal tick rate.
Which is why games like Counter-Strike, you tend to want to play on servers with high tick rates, because it means more information is being sent. So hit registration is more accurate, I believe.
Yeah, and the other one is like the frames per second. This is, how many frames you can see on the monitor, and that is quite often tied into the refresh rate of your monitor. So for instance, if you've got a 60 Hz monitor, you cannot have a game running at 144 frames per second on that monitor, because it will not render all of those frames on it.
Yeah.
You're supposed to leave these two things separate, but they haven't done this in Fallout 4. It's got exactly the same problem that Skyrim had. And in fact, I will quickly go over to the monitor again, and I will show you what Skyrim looks like at 120 frames a second without VSync. The physics go absolutely mental, because everything in the game engine has been tied to frames per second, not an internal tick rate that dictates how the game works. That's really, really bad. Like, there's no other way to describe it. That's really bad. In the first video we looked at just then, you could see that if the guy was standing up against a wall and hitting with a melee weapon, he was hitting the wall at about twice the speed than he was hitting air in an area where he's only getting 60 to 140 frames a second. And there was a difference between the two as well. People have said, I'm going to have to, Jesus Christ, we'll get rid of that now.
You're just flashing like a crazy...
Yeah, it's absolutely mental. It's a serious problem with the game engine itself, and the fact that it's still present after Skyrim. I know they're using the same engine. They've been using the same engine for God knows how long.
Game Bro engine, or something. Yeah,
Game Brio, I think it's called.
Yeah, whatever.
But that's a really, really bad sign. Like, if you tie something like that to frames per second, it doesn't really open it up to abuse as such, but it does mean that the game is going to be literally unstable. If you play it at more than 60 frames a second, everything moves faster. So your character moves faster, the combat goes faster, the physics are faster. If you have a slower frame rate, I've seen people talking about the fact that as the frame rates go down, you're going to be playing the game in slow motion. Now, that is that's quite bad. But you could be thinking to yourselves, well, okay, as long as you can keep a steady frame rate, if your rig's good enough, you can lock it to 60 frames a second, so on and so forth. Yeah, you can, but there's also issues with that as well. For instance, if you've got a 144Hz monitor and you want it to be at 144, you will have to then I think it's the graphics cards themselves, the software you come with it, like the GeForce Experience and the thingy control panel. You have to lock down the refresh rate of your desktop to match it. There's all kinds of funky stuff that has to be done if you want to try and play the game at anything other than the capped FPS that it comes with. Things like the PS4 and the Xbox One has had quite widespread problems with Fallout 4. Like, there's been stuttering and there's been collapses in load times and stuff. And the hardware is not quite as good. It can't quite handle Fallout 4 at a steady frame rate. Which doesn't just mean that you get lower frames, but it also means that the game is actually going to be running slower at times than it should do.
There's the example of the scope on the PS4. When the guy brings up the scope on his weapon, the frames drop to about 10 frames a second. Yeah. It looks atrocious. It's like, whoa. Yeah. Now, what Kiri just explained with the engine simulation being tied to FPS. Now, on consoles, you can say it's probably not going to be that bad, right? Because you're not going to get an example on the console where the FPS is going to go over 200, whereas on my PC, if I walk up to a wall and just stare at the wall like it showed you on that video, my FPS skyrockets because I'm not looking at anything. And it's like, I'm running around with this baton and it's like he's fucking going crazy slamming on the wall. Yet when you turn around and look at the room and it goes back to 60 to 90, it's a bit more like what you would expect it to be. Obviously on consoles, not as much because the hardware's obviously quite limited and it's not going to run the game at 60 FPS plus. I mean, it's probably 30 FPS, isn't it, on the console? It's got to be. But as Kiri says, the fix for this on PC is to limit your FPS. Now, there are other programs that can do this. I mean, I know for a fact DxTory can do it, which is a program you can use for video capture. That can lock the FPS of games. But here's the thing. Why would you want to lock the FPS of the game to 60 when your rig's capable of doing 90 to 100, which is a much better gaming experience if your monitor can display it? Now, I don't care if anyone says to me out there, oh, there's no difference between 60 and 100. There is. 60 to 100 or even 60 to 90 FPS is a massive refresh rate, the hertz on the monitor. So if you're running the game at 60 to 90 FPS and your monitor has a refresh rate above 60, let's say it's a 100 hertz monitor, you will get a much better experience than you would at 60 FPS. 60 hertz. Now, when you start going to 120 and 144, it becomes less noticeable. The 100 for me is the sweet spot. So I want the game to run at that. My monitor is capable of doing 144. My computer's not capable of doing that because I've only got a 780, and I'd basically need a better graphics card if I wanted to go insane fucking FPS. But 90 or whatever is good enough for me. But to say it's not playable is not fair. The game's still playable, but it's funky. And it's a remnant of some sort of design decision they've made in the past, because this engine they've heavily modified this engine, and it's almost like, guys, you've made so much money off Skyrim, and your titles before, but Skyrim's been the big daddy. That's made them a ton of money. Why have you not developed a new engine? Yeah. Why have you not gone out and bought a new engine? And I think this is a systemic problem they've got, because you know why? You know why? Why bother, bloke? Because let's look at games that have come out this year. You look at Witcher 3, and I always go on about Witcher 3 because Witcher 3 took the open world RPG format and took it to another level. Storytelling is fantastic. Everything's voiced. The graphics are awesome. I thought that game was going to be a disaster. I thought it was, you'd walk up to a guy and you get a quest, and the quest would be some boring shit quest, go and deliver something to this guy, and then somebody else's quest would be the same. No, every quest is like its own little story, and you can't believe it unless you play it. You're like, how can this be real? You look at the map and it's massive, and then hundreds of hours later, when you haven't even got anywhere in the game, you're like, holy shit, this game is ridiculous. And then you look at games that came out this year before Witcher 3, so you look at Dragon Age Inquisition. Just that doesn't take the genre anywhere. It's just like, have another game. Then we look at Fallout 4 right now. Now, I know there will be fans of Fallout 4 out there who will be like, they love the game, and that's fine. If you like Fallout 3, because generally these fans have come from Fallout 3 and New Vegas, not Fallout 1 and 2, because they were isometric RPGs, they're totally different. So if you look at what Fallout 4 is. It's Fallout 3. They haven't really bothered to innovate anything. All they've done is gave you a crafting system. And as far as I can tell, that is pretty much it. But they've dumbed down the chat interaction. So instead of having like lines and lines of text, because in Fallout you used to get like sometimes you could have like maybe 5 or 6 or whatever options, and it would completely say what the option would be, and it would be the story writing would be pretty good. Now New Vegas is considered better because Obsidian did the design for that, like the quest design and whatever. But Fallout 4, it's you basically got an angry answer, a maybe answer, a no answer, and a yes answer, and in a little. It's not even a dialogue wheel. It's just 4 options, and it's the same every time. And that's kind of shit. But before I just go into that and start ranting about that, it's what you've got here is a game in a post-Witcher world. Which, if The Witcher 3 wasn't here and we wasn't actually shown what is capable in this day and age, we would be saying, okay, Fallout 4 is actually pretty good because it's just Fallout 3. If you enjoy Fallout 3, you'll enjoy Fallout 4. It's just in a different area with slightly better graphics. It is the same game. Yeah. Now, I mean, let me just rant about the UI as well, because the UI is not very good on PC. To the point of like, I don't consider myself an idiot, but I was having some major difficulty operating the UI because it's got weird things. Like you'd have to press like R and Q and E, and you can't just click on things with a mouse pointer and
clicking on it, and then
the arrow keys.
Like the buttons that you use to navigate the menus were sort of contextual, but in a weird way. So I can't remember. There was 2 different menus that you looked at whilst I was watching the stream that you did of it, and on one of them, Tab did something, but on a different menu, Tab did something else. Yeah, and it was the same thing for Enter. Enter should be pretty universal for OK, but it didn't do that. It did something slightly different. I can't remember what the 2 menus were, but I remember watching it thinking, why would you take those 2 functions and like pretty much switch them out for 2 different menus? That doesn't make sense. It's just a case
of like controller support mapped onto a PC dead quick. That's what they've done. Because you think about it, you can map controller keys onto a keyboard dead easy, but it doesn't work the same. Like the quick weapon selection thing, it's the D-pad, and it even looks like the D-pad when you press F, I think it is, on the keyboard to bring it up. So you press F, then you use WAS and D to navigate through this while you're actually in the game, like it comes up. So you're using WAS and D to move around. It's like, to me, that confuses my brain, and I'm like, oh god, and I make a mistake. But if it was a D-pad and a controller, it'd be great and it'd be fine.
The thing is,
like there is a lot I want to say about the game, but I'm going to save it for podcast, really, because I'll just end up in a massive rant about it. And well, not a rant, but just like what I think about the game. Like, I just want to quickly say this in case any of you guys don't watch podcast. It's not a bad game. It's not a shit game. It just doesn't do anything for the genre. It just gives you more Fallout. So if you like Fallout, then you'll like this. That's it.
Just don't expect anything groundbreaking. Well, the thing that, in a way, like I haven't played it yet. I've seen you play it. I've watched a ton of videos on it this week in preparation for today, and in a way, this is going to sound really, really strange. There are issues that the game is having that other games have been torn apart for, and it's not being torn apart for them.
Yeah, because it's Fallout 4.
We're seeing massive high scores across the board. There are only a few people who are like, this is a bit of a technical fuck-up. Do you remember, I can't remember which one of the Need for Speed games it was, but there was a Need for Speed game that came out on the consoles, came out on the PC, and it turned out that all the physics were tied to the tick rate, were tied to the frames per second.
Yeah. And didn't I give that to you? I think I had that, didn't I? Didn't I have that? And I give it to you or something?
It was for the PS4, yeah. And when it came out on PC and people tried to unlock it from 30 FPS to 60, everyone went, oh my god, this is fucking dreadful, because all the cars drove at super speed. Like, everything was sped up and the game was uncontrollable.
Yeah, I remember seeing videos of it.
Yeah, like, everyone lost their shit. It was like, this is the worst thing I've ever seen. Oh, typical EA, what the fuck is this? Sorry, did we not just say that Fallout's done exactly the same thing? Did we not also show that Skyrim did the same thing and it was a fuck up then? It's still a fuck up now. Why are people like... Why is it not like massive news? Why is it not like all over the place? But it's not. Stuff like that infamous fucking screenshot from Unity of the guy with no face.
Yeah.
One of the first things I saw when I went into the Fallout, like the main kind of Fallout is out thing on the Fallout 4 subreddit, was a picture of a guy who's making his character and the guy's face disappeared. Like, the character's face disappeared, and it was just the eyes, the mouth, and the hair. And I was looking at it thinking, well, fuck me, that looks a bit familiar. Oh, where have I seen... Oh, yeah, that was Unity. People made a massive fuss of that. No one seems to care that it's happened with Fallout. Instead, we're at this really weird, bizarre point where when when other developers and publishers release a game that's broken, that's totally knackered, or that, like, there's stupid stuff like, the engine is tied to the frame rate, or you fall through the world, or you disappear into nowhere, or, enemies despawn or bug out, or, any number of bugs that should really be unacceptable. I mean, the same thing happened with Skyrim. You had the FPS issue, 120 FPS, and everything went mental. Within the first couple of hours of playing that game, I went into the, I think it's in Whiterun, the first, what are they called? Like the little warrior cult lads who had like a barracks, like a little long hall in that town.
Yeah, by the forge. I know what you mean. Yeah, they turn out to be. I won't spoil it.
Yeah, I remember the first time I went in there, I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. I like this. Going around trying to ninja stuff out of the display cases and nick weapons and so on. I tried to leave the place, and of course, in Skyrim, when you left a building, you opened the door and it loaded, and then you were outside.
Which, of course, Fallout 4 does as well.
Yeah. I opened the door, and the game kicked me off halfway up a mountain with just a floating door, complete with door frame behind me, that I could go back into. So I step out, I'm halfway across the map on the side of a mountain, and I even put a screenshot of it on Twitter all them years and years ago. And I was like, what the fuck is this? I turn around, go back in, I appear in the place, leave again, and it lets me get out in the town again. These are totally shit bugs. They're really bad. They shouldn't be
there was
there in the first place.
There was a bug for Fallout 4 which I seen on Reddit yesterday where a guy's just running through, like, he runs up some stairs, he runs forward, and then the world in front of him disappears, but he can still see the staircase and the wall around him. And what you're left with is like the menu screen. And he walks forward, and then the menu screen like disappears, and he walks back, and it's like, what?
It's like there's another one as well weird. Where there's like it looks like almost like a loading screen. There's like a little pit boy and a little like a pit girl or something as well, and they're just superimposed on stuff randomly. So he's looking around this corridor, and it's dark and it's fine, but if he's at just the right angle, the whole screen is overlaid with this picture that's like partially see through.
It's like, why? This must be this.
Why is
engine
this acceptable?
Must just be this. Yeah, well, yeah. Let's go back to the issue. Why is it acceptable?
It just baffles me because it's like any other dev or publisher releases a game that's really full of bugs or doesn't run very well, or the engine's like just broken to begin with because of the way they've built it, and it's like, oh my god, this is fucking pathetic. Instead, what happens with Bethesda games, and I'm really kind of sick of this at this point, is they release a new game. It's janky as fuck. The engine is old. It's not suitable anymore.
It looks shit.
It's still right. It looks shit. It performs shit.
Right.
And people go, "Oh,
the
it's
game
Bethesda."
Looks shit. Yeah, it looks shit for 2015. The game does, but it doesn't look shit like, oh god, this is unplayable. But when you look at The Witcher 3, I mean, I know I keep using The Witcher 3 as an example. You look at that game, and then you look at this game, and you're like, what the fuck have you been doing for the last 9 years, Bethesda, with this fucking game, or however long it's been since Fallout fucking 3 came out? Like, they've got the engine. Just to rewind a bit to the point I was trying to make with kind of like, why try harder? Okay, fuck getting a new engine, fuck fixing what we've got. We'll just patch it up as much as we can, and we'll just give them the same game as before. Fuck innovating the genre, because who cares? It'll sell like crazy. And I see loads of mental stats coming out where it's like fucking 1.9 million people on the day of launch on Steam were playing the game, or something ridiculous. It's like, what? Like, they're crazy sales figures. But what Kiri says is completely true. Why are some companies seemingly immune to criticism when it's like, what's going on there? I mean, we got Overwatch, didn't we? And okay, I kind of like Blizzard as a company for what they've done for games, and you can't deny they're a massive company and all of this stuff. But I was not going to sit there and force myself to enjoy Overwatch if it was shit. I just feel like this is shit. You've got to just disconnect yourself from who is the games and take the games at face value. If the game works okay and you think it's enjoyable, that's fine. But when you're faced with a game that simply is unplayable until you fuck about with it, and even when you get into the game, you think, well, hang on a minute, this is dead similar to your previous game, which came out years ago. What have you actually done to make this any different? And I've not played the game enough to comment on this, but I've spoke to people, and they have said that after playing the game for like 20, 25 hours plus, the quests are boring. None of the characters are memorable, and I can kind of relate to that because I don't even know the name of anyone apart from the Minuteman or somebody I met. Oh, and Codsworth, the robot, who's probably the best character I met. I don't know the name of anyone. Where, like, I hardly played Fallout 3 in New Vegas, but I distinctly remember Fallout 3, where you're in the vault and you go to your own birthday party as you're growing up, and you can be like a bastard to the kids, and then when you grow up again, you can join the little vault gang and all of that stuff. And it's like, you remember this. And then I remember going out of the town to Megaton. I remember blowing it up. I remember going to that guy's tower, standing at the top and just detonating Megaton. It was like, yeah, all these crazy things. Yeah, I haven't seen anything like that in Fallout 4. I've probably not played it enough to get there, but from people I've spoke to, they haven't really seen anything like that. And I'm like, well, so what's going on with this game? Is it just like an excuse to run around a map, which, again, compared to Witcher 3, is pretty small, and just
Well, I saw.
I don't know.
I saw someone saying that you could run across from one end of the map in 11 minutes. I don't know how true that is because that seems way too short. But I think if it's like a direct route, someone made a video where it was like,
Maybe, yeah.
"There you go. I just ran across this. I just ran across the map. It took 10 minutes. That's really. But this is the problem. This is like that.
Well, this annoys me because people like, and this is the same in like even in the area we work with YouTube and Twitch and God knows what. You have people who put in effort and produce stuff, which is fantastic. Obviously, you look at CD Projekt Red, what they've done with The Witcher 3. Then you look at people who just don't seem to give a shit, yet are getting fucking all the praise in the world for the latest and their greatest series and all this. When you realistically look at the game, you look at Fallout 4, it is not this genre-defining game. It is not something which pushes anything forward. It is not an amazing game. Okay, it's an okay game. You know what's going to kill me? Let's fucking come off The Witcher, but it's not even The Witcher. But what's going to kill me is when it's Game of the Year time and all these bloody companies are going to be like, oh, Fallout 4 RPG of the year or something. I'm just going to be like, if Witcher 3 doesn't comprehensively win that, even from the worst of websites, okay, and the worst of publications, then something is seriously wrong with those people. And their companies need to be liquidated.
The thing is, it's like I'm not even deliberately trying to hate on the game. I'm just trying to highlight the fact
it's not bad. Yeah, shit. We're not saying it's shit, guys. Please
it's just trying to highlight that there's an incredible double standard, and it only applies to a few companies in the gaming industry. And it pisses me off because Bethesda is one of those people. Like, because Unity comes out, it's buggy, it's glitchy, it doesn't work properly. Ubisoft gets slammed. They give away a load of stuff for free. They try to recover it. It doesn't recover. EA releases that Need for Speed game, it's glitchy, it's buggy, it doesn't work, so on and so forth. Like, companies have been releasing broken shit games for ages. Even Warner Brothers. It's like, oh, Batman Arkham Knight. It's just, I know it's nowhere near as bad Fallout 4, obviously, but that's like, there's hatred. There's real hatred and real sort of anger directed at those companies. Whereas,
actually, when I said 1.9 million people played the game at launch, it's actually 1.2 million bought the game, so it wasn't 1.9 playing the game. So.
But then, like, Bethesda comes out with Fallout 4, and all I see is jokes that it's like, oh, this is broken, oh, the UI is shit, oh, the engine's
it's funny because it's Bethesda.
And you see people saying things like, well, modders will fix it. That seems to be the overriding thing for PC as well, especially that I've seen constant references to.
Do people not realise how much money they are worth? ZeniMax and Bethesda are not a little company. Skyrim made billions.
Yeah. It's like, don't fix it. They should fucking fix it. Like, it's not the modder's responsibility to deal with a game that's been released in a shit state for that platform. Like, I don't care how well it works on consoles. When I play it, I'll play it on PC. And the most complaints I've seen are from people who are playing on PC. And it's because the game was promised to be like some unlimited wonderland for PC players where you could do whatever you like. Except the game engine's tied to the FPS. You've got to sort out the mouse in 2 different ways. You've got to fuck about with the ini file just to get the field of view the way you want. Parts of the map just fucking, you walk downstairs and you end up in the middle of a room. It's like, what the fuck is going on? And why are people just going, oh, well, typical Bethesda? No typical Bethesda. If they keep releasing like janky, broken-engined pieces of shit, then stop fucking buying it. Don't sit there going, oh, well, it's just Bethesda, they always do this. They shouldn't always do this. And I've also seen people say things like, oh, well, with a game that big, with a massive open-world game, you can't test all of it. I'm thinking, no, you probably can't. And yeah, I don't recall The Witcher 3 having like a broken shit engine. I don't recall The Witcher 3 requiring you to go into ini files to edit field of views. I don't recall any of this shit with that game. And that was done by a smaller studio with less experience. So what the fuck is going on? Why is it acceptable? It's not acceptable. So stop fucking accepting it. Oh, God, it drives me wild. I can't handle it.
But we're not saying the game's bad. And if you do enjoy Fallout, you will enjoy... If you enjoy Fallout 3, you will like Fallout 4 because it's the same game.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, hell, I want to go back and play it a little bit more. Oh God, I've just dropped all my dice on the floor because I hold dice, in my hand because I like to tempt fate. Yeah, but I want to go back and play it a little bit more and see if it kind of does change up But anyway, to all that for, ladies and gentlemen.
Let's
RPG game of the year.
let's move on. Let's go somewhere else. So we have a whole mass of Activision Blizzard news. What with BlizzCon being being last week, which we always miss on Hotfix by like a day, which is, I don't know if it's bad timing or not. I'm going to say it's bad timing on their part. They need to, do it on Wednesday or something. But there's also
midweek,
midweek BlizzCon, and there's also been the launch of Call of Duty. So I guess what we'll do is we'll quickly cover Call of Duty first, just because it's a nice simple thing to report. Black Ops 3, $500 million in the opening weekend, which is. It sounds not that surprising, but actually the previous game really didn't perform that well in terms of sales. I've seen it where people are saying, oh, well, this shows that Call of Duty has recovered because the last one didn't do that well comparatively. And on the back of that, Activision Blizzard Studios are planning to make Call of Duty films and more. So now that we've seen the Warcraft movie trailer, which we'll get onto into a second, so I'll just switch over, you can see this. Following the World of Warcraft movie trailer, just the Warcraft movie trailer, it's not World of Warcraft, Activision Blizzard announced over the weekend that they've launched a new arm dedicated to making movies and TV out of their games. The first celluloid fruit of Activision Blizzard Studios will be a TV cartoon adaptation of the Spyro spin-off series Skylanders, and they're awfully keen on making Call of Duty talkies too. Oh, dearie me. So,
well, here we go.
So it's hardly going to be Saving Private Ryan, is it? A Call of Duty movie?
No. But I mean, it could be pretty funny. I have not played Black Ops 3 yet because I haven't had time, right? But from what I've seen, people are saying this is a really good entry, right? Like really good. This is like got in Call of Duty standards, okay? So it's got a good single player campaign. I'm always a sucker for the single player campaigns. Although the only one I haven't really finished was Ghost because that was terrible. And that was a technical disaster as well on PC. I quite enjoyed Advanced Warfare's stupid fucking one with what's her face in from House of Cards. That was pretty stupid, and it was like, well, whatever. I quite enjoyed Advanced Warfare's multiplayer because it had the exosuit movement where you could just boost to the side and go up and down. But as we all know, that was not widely accepted as good by the COD community. No, because they don't like the fact that you could get. Well, they don't like the fact that you could move up and down and get behind people and kill them. I've explained it before, but Call of Duty tends to work with, like, if Kiri's there and I'm here, Kiri comes this way, he kills me, then I spawn over here, and Kiri will eventually get back round to me, and I've got to go round to meet him. It's not like you don't spawn behind each other and kill each other, and that's what was annoying people with Advanced Warfare, apparently, although I thought it was better. But I would do, because I'm a Overwatch addict, and that game, you're just all over the place. So people are saying that this is a really good entry. This takes their multiplayer back to what everybody wanted and then makes it better. So there are movement that are like you can slide and you can do a bit of parkour and stuff like that, but it's not crazy jumping all over the place with the suits. Apparently the way it works is much better in multiplayer and all of this stuff. But again, remember, it's Call of Duty, so it's probably not going to impress us that much. But here's the thing. Isn't Call of Duty a fucking annual thing? And we've got Treyarch with their Black Ops 3. Which everybody's saying is awesome. And who was the other studio?
It's hang on.
The ones who did Advanced Warfare.
Yeah. I can't remember.
Why is it going out of my head?
Yeah, I for some reason I always remember Treyarch. I never remember the other guys.
But the other guys used to be the Infinity Ward. That's it. They used to be the ones who were the kings of COD because they were the ones who brought us like Modern Warfare and all that shit. Treyarch were like the ones on the side, but it seems that Infinity Ward have collapsed because they make Ghosts.
It was actually Advanced Warfare was Sledgehammer Games.
Ah, yes, no. Well, what's happened to Infinity? Have they got 3 studios working on it now?
I don't know. I'm just quickly going on their Wikipedia to see what they're up to.
Even I'm getting confused now.
Yeah, because
what's happened to Infinity? Oh, anyway, whatever. So Treyarch or whatever. This next year, like if everyone's saying this is great and they didn't really enjoy Advanced Warfare and it didn't really sell that well, like considering it's Call of Duty and it should make billions, what are they going to do next year? like what is going to come out next year, because they can't just have another futuristic one, because that's what this is. And I find
Yeah.
this weird because Advanced Warfare was futuristic, but actually more futuristic because you had the warrior, the exosuits, which is what you would expect soldiers to. I mean, we've got these now, like prototypes of them. You see, like military, testing them and whatever. Why would that regress in the next installment, and then the installment after that? What's it going to be? I mean, I really hope that they go back to World War II or something, or do like
Yeah.
you know,
Go
a
go
remake of
back
one of the old ones.
back from the future into World War II with exosuits and laser guns. Yeah. No,
I'll
don't do
play
that.
that.
That'd be terrible. I would play it. It would be terrible, but I'd play it. Something I will say I really like in this article at the bottom on Rock Paper Shotgun is Bobby Kotick. When he did the announcement, he said, "We intend to approach film and television development with the same unwavering commitment to excellence we are known for in game development." And the last paragraph of this article, which I absolutely love, what Kotick didn't mention, but I can reveal as an RPS Insider Knowledge exclusive, is that if you pre-order your COD movie ticket, you'll get a whole extra action sequence set in Nuketown. On top of that, see it at an Odeon cinema, and your heroes will have unique golden gun skins. Catch it at Cineworld for a flashback sequence with Soap McTavish visiting his dying Ma in hospital, or View to have an alternative version of that scene, replacing the octogenarian with Cara Delevingne, right, pronounce her name. Probably not that far from the truth.
Yeah, but I mean, as for them moving into this kind of stuff, I mean, Activision Blizzard, it seems weird to me to call them that, Activision Blizzard, because
Yeah.
I still see Blizzard as its own company. Well, of course, when they merged, Activision couldn't buy Blizzard because Blizzard's too big, and Blizzard couldn't buy them. But they've merged together, and it's like a partnership, but it's a weird one because they're still kind of
They're together in name, but
independent-ish.
they're separate. I think they're together in purchases and kind of
Yeah.
revenue, but they're separate in projects. So it's like Blizzard doesn't seem to be involved in any way with like the Activision franchises, or the
Well,
other way around.
I've got the BattleNet launcher open right now, and it's Blizzard Entertainment on the bottom. It's not Activision Blizzard Entertainment or any of that shit.
You know what?
It's
I'm actually
kept on
surprised
separate.
that hasn't been turned into some sort of Steam / Origin /
I thought they had
Uplay
plans for that.
competitor. I really
thought they had
that
plans
that's
for
what was
that,
going to be done with it, but
Yeah, because you could I mean, they could be selling Call of Duty and all their other games through that as well, but
yeah,
and then they could even use it for multiplayer matchmaking and God knows what. Yeah, with Activision buying King, I don't think
Candy Crush the
this.
movie.
Well, just more like moving into mainstream. Like
Yeah,
going after people who are not. Because you imagine if a Call of Duty film came out now, obviously people are going to be like, they'll know it's from the game. But there may be people who watch that because it's just an action film. I mean,
yeah.
there's loads of people who watch action films that don't play games and all kinds of stuff. So I don't know. As for, I guess this ties us into the Warcraft movie trailer. But as for,
I'm gonna play it,
gonna,
and
yeah,
I'm gonna switch over to the desktop. I won't do it full screen, just because you never know. So
you
I'll
never know.
switch over. I'll give you a little countdown. I'll give you a 3, 2, 1.
Well, I just generally want to talk about this. So the Legion trailer, which is not this, but the trailer for the new Warcraft expansion, looks quality. It's
It really
CGI
does.
and it looks really good. It's like probably one of the best ones they've made, just for like the visual impact of it. It's crazy. So I look there with like the Lich King cinematics and things like that. It's fucking ridiculous. And then after I literally came off the back of watching that trailer to watching this trailer that you guys can see right now. Or, if you're by your computer, go and load the trailer up and watch it in 1080p. Yeah, this is weird because you've got like special effects that really are not working for me, and they look cheap. But I don't think they're
Yeah,
meant to look cheap, and I don't think they actually are cheap. I think what's happened is human characters actually have physical human armor, like what physical armor that's been made, right? They're not like the orcs who've got CGI bodies, but the faces of the orcs, I think, are real because I've
The
seen
faces of
pictures of
them are
the
real.
actors. Yeah, so it's like they've somehow CGI'd the face onto a 7-foot massive orc next to this human guy. But the weird thing is, the humans look fake, but they're the ones with the real armor, and I
I
don't
don't.
understand what's
Yeah,
going on. I'm
I
like,
don't know how
what?
they've done it, but they've managed to make the humans look more fake than the orcs look, which is really impressive because the humans are just, well, they're actually humans. They are people. They're not computer generated. They're just actual people. But somehow they don't look quite as realistic as the orcs do. But I can't really work out why. I think part of the problem is, and I was thinking about this earlier today. Warcraft is a very stylized, cartoonish, like franchise, isn't it? The way it looks,
Yeah,
it had to be. It had to be, and it still has to be, because you can't replace the World of Warcraft engine at this point, can you? How the hell would you even do that? It would be a massive undertaking. It's got to be stylized. It's got to be very sort of larger than life and colourful, and the armor's got to look mental, because it's just got to look as ridiculous as possible. They've tried to put that in the film, which is fine, but you cannot put something that you can't really put something that outlandish next to a normal person without making that person look a bit off. Like the armor is like
it looks like a
down
cosplay convention. Yeah.
I mean, I think one of the reasons that Lord of the Rings kind of fared so well is because a lot of the CG was just integrated with models and pictures, and it wasn't just like, oh, let's computer generate everything. A lot of it was matte painting. A lot of it was actual actors just with a shit ton of makeup on, like the Uruk-hai and the orcs and everything. They were people with a hell of a lot of makeup on, and it's kind of done. It's lasted well because of that. Because Lord of the Rings, those films were long. They're old now. They are old films.
Oh, they're like 2000, ain't they? 2001,
yeah,
something like that.
But they still hold up, because although there's CG there, it's interspersed and used to enhance as opposed to generate everything, which is what they've done for Warcraft. And
do you think this is a good point? When I'm watching this trailer through, right, you get sections of battle and like humans fighting orcs, and you can see the humans are CGI at that point and all of this. It looks worse than cinematics we've already seen from the game. So my vision of Warcraft in this cinematic way has been from the trailers they've given us for Warcraft, right? For WoW. So I'm watching them and I'm like, wow, that looks crazy. And then what I see in the film is like a lesser version of what they've already shown me. And I'm like, that's kind of weird.
You've hit it on the head. That's exactly what it is. When you watch the Legion trailer and you see the orcs, they look the same as in that. When you see like demons and griffins and shit, they look the same as in the Warcraft film trailer, but the humans don't. The humans look different. The humans look normal. Because if you look at the World of Warcraft cinematics, and like you've got like Sylvanas in there, and you've got what's his name, Varian Rin. He is a stylized human. Like, he's not really anatomically correct.
Real.
He's not real. He's way too bulky, and
he's massive. Yeah,
he's got crazy scars on his face and stuff. And that works because that's how Warcraft has always looked. That's how the cinematics have always looked. That's how the game has always looked. But they've taken everything else. Like the orcs in the Warcraft trailer look like superior sort of CG versions of the orcs in the cinematics. And the big wolf looks like the actual wolf. But the humans are actual humans.
Yeah, the wargs, the massive warg things. Yeah.
Like the humans are the wrong. Somehow they've managed to make it so that the most real people, like the actual real people in the trailer, because they're real, they look like they shouldn't be there. Everything else looks like you would expect it looks like a really, really, really high production kind of World of Warcraft game trailer. Like really, really high production because of the orcs. But then you've got these little shitty normal human beings who aren't like fucking stacked. They aren't ripped. They haven't got massive six packs and giant shoulders and arms. They ain't Varian Rin with his massive armor plated shoulders.
I agree with this. I totally agree with this, because what you've got life-size orcs against midget humans, and in this trailer you see like orcs which look exactly like you would think, like Kiri said, they look like better versions of what you would see. They're massive. They're fucking massive. Orcs are. They're like 7 foot tall, massive. The arms are like this fucking, that's the bicep. And one of them's like hitting a human, and the human looks normal, and he's got a shield, and somehow he's deflecting it. Now he would be dead. Like there is no comparison there, and it looks weird. And I think that's my problem with this, is it does not look real in the sense of Warcraft real. It looks like the orcs are real, although obviously they're not, and the humans are like miniature freaks. And it's like they just I don't know.
It's really odd. It's really weird.
Yeah,
it's only weird. Thinking about it now that I've kind of put that together. That it's almost like the humans are the ones that are out of place. That's why the humans look fake. That's why the humans look like they're CG when everything else is CG. Because you've got this world where all these orcs, they're huge, massive guys. You've got these griffins flying around. You've got those massive wargs. You've got an orc picking up a fucking horse and throwing it in the trailer. But all the humans are normal. Like, they're too plain. They are like plain, normal humans you'd see in some like low-budget fantasy film. The armor doesn't look like fantastic and amazing and magical. They don't look like they're built warriors. Like they don't look like they could fight an orc. Whereas in
No,
World of
no, no
Warcraft,
way.
Varian Rin looks like he could beat an orc to death with his own head. So it's like you kind of see it and you're like, fuck yeah, that is look
Well,
at
I mean,
that guy.
like in the Legion trailer, he's on his massive airship that crashes into the sea, and he's like, and then he just rips his armor off and rips his fucking sword in two, and it just starts cutting the fucking
Yeah.
demons. And he's like, what?
And he's only got chainmail on, and he still looks as big as a fucking orc because he's solid. But in the
because
Warcraft
he's a
trailer,
Warcraft human.
Yeah.
These guys are
they're normal humans.
Earth humans.
They need to be. Yeah, it's
they're not from Azeroth, and I don't know. I mean, it might still be a decent film. We don't know anything about the film itself, really, but just based off the visuals, it's such an alarming contrast. And I don't know how they allowed this to happen, and I don't know why they didn't just go, well, let's just do fucking CG humans, because clearly they can do it.
I don't get it, because the orcs, I have to say, I think the orcs look pretty damn good. Apart from that freak orc baby, which looks.
Is
like...
it Duratan?
Yeah,
Duratan's the guy, isn't he? The big like red orc, and he looks solid when he's putting Thrall into the bloody, like, the green baby Thrall, the Jesus Moses Thrall. That is Thrall, isn't it? Green, send him away. Yeah, is it Duratan? I'm not sure, guys. I'm probably gonna get slaughtered by people in the comments. I think it's Duratan. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it's like the orcs look dead good, and then it's a weird one. It's weird. I think they've obviously tried to make it so that it's not too outlandish. I think what they did is they decided we can't have the humans looking like World of Warcraft humans, because like people will want to see the film and they be like, why is that guy built like why are all these humans built like the fucking The Rock? Why are they all built like him? Why are they all like
just
7
get
foot
loads
tall?
Of Dwayne Johnson,
just
like clone him.
Why are his shoulder pads like so big they cover his head? This looks stupid. And so they're like, okay, we need to put in normal humans. But the problem with that is that the people who are most interested in this film are going to be people who like Warcraft and World of Warcraft, and they're the ones who are going to be looking at the trailer going, "Oh my god, I can't wait to see it." Then they're going to see the normal, like, freak midget humans in the world of Azeroth with these giant orcs, and they're going to be like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Where's the massive brick shithouse human that wields a giant sword? Where's he? Why has this guy got like a normal puny little broadsword?
The units. Where's the units, boys?
Where's
fucking look at that guy.
Where's the giant maul? Where's the fucking, it just.
However, I got something I would like to say, which I think is a bit disgusting. Why is Dalaran in the air? I presume that's Dalaran. Why is it?
I don't know.
Floating? Is Dalaran floating there or something? Surely Dalaran. Yeah, like some guys running up. I don't know, bloke. Surely Dalaran should be in the ground, but I guess artistic license. I don't know. Now, do I want to see this film? This is the other question. Do you guys want to see this film? I think I kind of do want to see it, because it doesn't look crap, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't look totally crap. Like, this was the fear I think everyone had, where it was like, oh my god, is this just going to be a bag of crap? It's going to look like completely cringeworthy. It doesn't look cringeworthy, but knowing the universe it's based in makes us think that the humans look stupid. The orcs look fine, but the humans look stupidly small, and they don't look actually like Warcraft Denzians, I suppose. But yeah, I don't know. I still think what you said is right. It's probably been designed like that so normal people can relate to it, because it's just another fantasy film. Fans of like Lord of the Rings or the Harry Potter or whatever might think, oh, I'll give this a go, but I don't know what Warcraft is. So, I don't know. It's weird, though, isn't it?
It's just the rest of the people used to play World of Warcraft. It's like, this guy's fucking puny.
Well, there's already been jokes on the internet, hasn't there, about the shoulders? It's like somebody fixed the trailer poster, you remember?
Or
something. It was like massive shoulders. Yeah. But it looked better. It actually did look better. It's like, well, that looks better. Yeah. But obviously completely stupid.
God. Okay, so the other stuff that we got for Blizzard / Activision is StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void, also launched. We've played a bit of that. I haven't done any of the campaign, but we did do we have done the co-op missions. The third of which was up today, actually. So,
beautiful.
If you haven't watched it, then go back and do it after you've watched this.
The campaign I'll talk about a bit on podcast, because it's more of like what we've been playing. But yeah, I thought I was a bit disappointed with the co-op missions. I thought they were a bit crap, to be honest.
Felt a bit lazy.
And after because that was the first thing I played. I didn't play the single player at all, and I was like, oh, is this going to be? But no, the single player is pretty good. So, but yeah, Legacy of the Void is launched, which of course means well, actually at BlizzCon they had the WCS, which is the World Championship Series for. Well, they have it for all their games, but the StarCraft one. Last game of Heart of the Swarm, and it was Protoss versus Zerg, and I hadn't watched esports for a long time, especially StarCraft esports, and it was enjoyable to watch. It was a little bit disappointing for me though because it never went into these huge like macro games where I remember in the past you could have games that could last like 40 minutes plus and it'd be this epic
Yeah,
war. It was the games lasted not 15 minutes and they were over and it was like it was a little bit I don't know, a little bit there. But apparently with Legacy of the Void, a lot of the changes they've made, people are saying are really good for multiplayer because now you get given twice the amount of SCVs to start the game with. I think you've got less resources in your base, but you mine them faster. So you have to go out and expand quicker. And it's promoting attacking people all the time. So you don't sit there and turtle up a massive army. You just have to absolutely go out the gates and start attacking each other straight away.
it's like
So they're saying it makes it, yeah, they're saying it makes it a much better game to watch. Whereas like when I watched the Heart of the Swarm final, it didn't seem like what happened was it was a little bit of a slow start and then an attack which won the game. It was almost like the first attack. If the other guy, had hard countered the other chap, then he kind of won. But apparently, Legacy of the Void changes that, so you can react and then react again and then react again, and it's meant to be like this crazy back and forth. But it's StarCraft, and I think Legacy of the Void will sell fairly well for them. It's obviously not going to sell
yeah,
like WoW sells or probably Overwatch when that comes out because it's I don't know. I kind of felt like it's a dated experience now.
yeah. I
I
think
look at it and it feels old. It feels old when I'm playing it, and I'm like,
I think also they haven't helped themselves in making it feel old
it is
because
standalone though, so you don't need the other games to actually
yeah,
play it.
I think part of that is that when you look at other games that are kind of, I guess, just as old in a way. Because if you think about it, games like League of Legends and Counter Strike and Team
Yeah,
Fortress and all that, they're all old games as well. But they've kind of managed to stick around I guess in the limelight a bit. They've managed to stay at the forefront of people's minds just because they're everywhere. StarCraft 2, Blizzard kind of allowed it to die a bit. They didn't handle it very well, and it didn't keep pushing headlines and keep turning up everywhere. And it launched. It was like, oh my god, fucking StarCraft 2, and then it's just kind of dwindled. And I think it probably wouldn't feel as old or as dated if it had still been there for the duration. But it's like for me, it
well,
feels old dated because I'm like coming back, and it's like
yeah.
any
It
game
feels
that
like something you played years ago, kind of thing. It's like, oh,
yeah,
and it's the same thing.
any game that I
I
come back to and it doesn't feel that different to when I played it before, then it feels dated. Like if
well,
I come back to
granted,
something, I don't know what's going on. I'm
yeah,
like,
okay,
oh,
okay.
okay,
Granted, a lot of the changes are you're going to need to have been playing StarCraft 2 to kind of appreciate them more. Because
yeah,
if you come back, you'll be like, oh, there's a new unit there, there's a new unit here, and that's it. That's probably all you're going to see. You're not going to, and you look at the UI, it's like, well, it's the same, the controls are the same, but it's StarCraft. Biggest issue StarCraft has, to all those games you just listed off, is it's way too difficult to play. That's the
yeah,
problem. You can't sit. I mean, I say it all the time. You cannot sit down and have a chilled out game of. You can't be like, okay, I'm just going to jump onto Counter Strike and mess around. Oh, well, you can't. Sorry, you can be like, I'm going to jump on Counter Strike and mess around. I'm going to jump on Team Fortress. Or I'm going to jump on, I guess, Overwatch. Will probably come into this when that comes out. Or jump on any other game like that and just chill. You can't with StarCraft because the other guy will not be chilling. The other guy's there to murder you with massive APM and leech strats. So if
yeah,
you don't deal with it, you die, and then you end up going on this losing streak. And because it's a very personal 1v1 challenge, it's so difficult. You have to go and it's not. It kind of is an antisocial game, and it isn't an antisocial game as well. But if I want to beat, if Kirioth is like Grandmasters, and I want to beat him, and I can't beat him because he knows the strats, I've got to go away and learn the strats.
what
I've
do
got
you
to go
mean
into
if
single play.
I am Grandmaster?
He is Grandmaster, um, Grandmaster wanker. And
Woodley.
what I've got to do is put up skirmishes, and I've got to practice and practice build orders and get the times down just fine because I know if I don't hit all of the correct keys at this double racks command center first or whatever opening I'm doing, Kirioth will, and he will beat me because he will have more workers, forces at that point, and he will win because he's better at pressing the keys in the keyboard. So I've got to go away and train and train and train. 90% of people will not do that because they
No,
just want to go and play a game. And this causes that game to suffer. But what it does do is the professional scene for that game shows you how good people can actually become. And you sit there, and it's very rare that I'll watch esports and be in awe of what's going on. And I'll be like, this guy has got 300 APM. And he is like, how is he doing this? You know what I mean? And
yeah,
that game is so difficult because you've got to micro your units in combat. You've got to produce units at your base. So you've got to do your macro and your micro. Then you've got to work out what the enemy's doing. So you've got to scout them. Then you've got to effectively counter them. Then you've got to micro units in while also reinforcing It's just crazy, and it's like you have to be such a high level of ability for that. And of course, this trickles down. So, if, like Kiri's a great example. Kiri would never play it on the ladder. If I said to you now, okay, let's go play Legacy of the Void, hell, maybe I won't fucking play it that much on the ladder. I'll probably have a couple of games and that'll be it. But Kiri's even worse because Kiri never played it as much as I played it. So he go in and just lose. Won't know why he's lost. Why did I lose there? What the fuck has happened there? And then try and work it out. Is he going to spend hours doing it? No. And are most people? No. Something like me might spend a little bit of time, but then even I'm going to be like, well, no, I can't be bothered with this. So off I go. That's the biggest problem that game has. Well, biggest problem. And it's a shame, but...
You basically described my experience with the original StarCraft 2. Like trying to play it alone. I played it, we did, when we were messing about on the 2v2 ladder for a while, we did a series where we'd sit down and play it once a week and see what we got. I enjoyed that because I was playing it with someone else, and it was like, if something rancid happened, you would probably at least be able to tell me why it happened. And if you couldn't, it would then be like oh my god, that was terrible. Let's see what happened. And it would be almost like just a fun shared experience. Playing it solo, I maybe tried to play it once a week for maybe 3 weeks. And even then it was not even an hour at a time. And I'd go in and I'd have a game. And if I won, I'd be like, okay, so I think I did that right. And then I would come up against someone and I would get crushed. And it wouldn't be like kind of, oh, that was close. It would just be 5 minutes into the game, you're just dead. You can't do anything. Like, goodbye.
Yeah.
And every time that happened, I was like, okay, what happened there? And I would go to look at the replay and I get halfway through the replay. And then I would just realise that I don't care. I was just like, why am I doing this? Like, what is the point? I'm just going to play something else. And that's what I did. It was like, I could either sit here and like hammer it out and go over every replay where I ever lost and go, okay, that guy used that strat, that guy used that builder, okay, I misplaced that unit there. But anytime I thought about doing that, it started out with enthusiasm, and then as soon as I started pressing replay, I was like, oh, I could just go and play Dragon Age or something. Fuck it, I'll go and play that. And that'll be it, I'll just leave it.
It's because it's so difficult to get into, and it's, I can sit here and say, oh, I do RTS game to play, but then a new RTS game, and only a few people play it, like Active Aggression. I really enjoyed that, but only a few people actually play the game. So, or bother learning the game and getting better at the game. And StarCraft is the primary RTS game in the world, and look how inaccessible that is. I mean, when you speak about 2v2, me and you are going to play Archon mode, which is, it's 1v1, but 2 players control one base. Now, that'll be pretty funny. And if you think about it, StarCraft is balanced around 1v1, not 2v2. 2v2 doesn't work, because in 2v2, you could do shit things like just build one unit. Like, I could just build Marines, you could just build Zealots or something, and then we could win. And that could be our tactic, and we could get really high.
And in fact, I remember we did several things like that when we played 2v2, where it was just like...
easy.
Yeah.
But Archon mode would be different because it's still a 1v1 game, but this time one of you is controlling the army and the other one is controlling the base. So you're sending reinforcements out, I'm trying to micro them, or I'm sending them out and you're trying to attack with them. Yeah. So that's a completely different ballgame, and I think that would be really interesting, and they should have probably added that before. And it does have a really good name, Archon mode. In case anyone doesn't know, Archons are to High Templar or Dark Templar, I think.
It's High Templar.
Dark Templar. Is it just High Templar?
I think it's just High Templar.
Yeah, Dark Templar can't do it. Yeah, I don't think Dark Templar can. So High Templar fuse together and turn into an Archon, and it's one super being. So Archon mode. Yeah, it is. It is just.
Do you remember when they showed the trailer for Legacy of the Void, the first one, and the 2 High Templars like merged together to form the Archon, and he had like armor on him, and he's been attacked by an Ultralisk, and he was someone did a what it would actually look like video where they cut away to the game for that trailer. And it shows an Archon just standing there, just using one hand to fire lightning, and the Ultralisk is just beating it in the face.
Butchers him.
And that was just, I watched that, I was like, that was genius. I like that.
Because it doesn't in the cinematic, doesn't the Ultralisk grabs it round the throat, and it breaks off one of the Ultralisk's arms. It's like, what? The Ultralisk would just butcher the fucking Archon in 1v1.
Oh god, it was quality.
I mean, an Archon has got like a AoE splash attack when it attacks. It can't fight a fucking Ultralisk 1v1. It'll just die.
Hey, we should do the Archon mode as like a special face-off Friday. Unit lost versus someone else as a face-off Friday. We'll do that. Yeah, that'd be quality.
Beautiful.
What we're gonna... That was it. Blizzard, more Blizzard stuff. Blizzardy things. So I'm going to switch over because this is big. This is a thing that we talked about last week, but my prediction was wrong, and I think your prediction was mostly right for this. And That's if I've remembered what we were saying properly. Overwatch will not be free to play, Blizzard confirms. So, well, as it says on PC Gamer, Overwatch will not be free to play. Instead, it will be released in 3 different editions, coming in at 3 different price points. The standard edition of Overwatch will include 21 extraordinary heroes and sell for $40. For $60, you can upgrade to the Overwatch Origins edition, which tacks on 5 Origin skins that tie into the game's lore: Overgrown Bastion, Blackwatch Reese, Slipstream Tracer, Strike Commander Morrison, and Security Chief Farah, and bonus items for other Blizzard games, which is like Mercy Wings for Diablo 3, in-game portraits for StarCraft 2, an Overwatch card back for Hearthstone, a Baby Winston pet for World of Warcraft, which actually sounds quite funny, and the Tracer hero in Heroes of the Storm, and of course there's the obligatory Collector's Edition, which has a $130 price tag.
I didn't know the price, yeah.
Which is obviously quite high, and comes with a source book, a soundtrack, and a statue of Soldier 76, so a statue of the most boring character in the game. One of the best, but also one of the most boring.
No, Torbjorn's the most boring character.
Oh no,
in the
sorry.
game.
Yes, no, you're absolutely right. I apologise.
Soldier's not boring. Soldier's mechanics are boring, but when you play him, he's quite interesting.
Yeah, I'll give you that. So yeah, it's expected to go live in spring 2016.
Yeah.
On or before the 6th of the 21st, or the 21st of the 6th. Hang on.
Yeah. So
it's
Jeff,
one of those two. Wait,
Jeff, the game director, or whatever, bloke. Jeff, the game director, went on stage at BlizzCon, and in the video I made, because I made a video like outlining what was said and explaining why the game isn't free to play and how I was a little bit shocked at this. Basically, he turns up on the stage and he says, "You will get. There's 3 versions of the game. You've got to buy it. You will get all of the current heroes when you buy the game. Thank you. Goodbye." Now, that is sort of very vague. It's like, I'm going to get all of the current heroes. So, hang on, I've got to buy the game, and I'll get 21 of the heroes that are in the game. Are you then going to say, hey guys, here's a new hero, you need to buy it? Because that would be bad, because the whole point of Overwatch, again, Jeff said this on the very same stage, is hero switching. The game is designed around, when you form, you do not see the enemy team. When the game starts, you don't know what the enemy team is, okay? There's ways of kind of working out, because if they're stupid enough to reveal who they are while you're in your spawn, you can be like, okay, we can see they've got this character, that character, this character, so we're going to get this character to counter them or whatever. You go out, you attack, you die. Then you think, okay, did I die because of bad skill, or did I die because their team wrecked me? If their team wrecked me, then we need to change the character I am, and we need to change the team around. And that's what Overwatch is about. So if you lock heroes behind paid DLC, you fragment the community, which is really fucking bad. Because if you buy the game, now the game is actually priced, I think, fairly competitively. It's usually UK prices, 30 quid for just the normal game. It's 45 quid for the Origins edition, which will probably be the one that sells the most. And then you've got the ludicrous collector's edition, which is just the Origins edition with an art book and a statue of Soldier 76. I think the base cost of the game is fine. 30 quid, that's pretty cheap, to be honest, for a AAA game these days. Okay, it's only multiplayer only, but it doesn't matter. That's the type of game it is. It's just a team-based arena shooter kind of thing with objectives where, as I say, you can swap your heroes in and out as you please. So how are they going to monetize this? What are their plans? Are they going to do... I think the safest way to do this right now, if you're Blizzard, is you've announced you're selling the game. So you need to sell the game at that price. Then, next year, at BlizzCon, you announce an expansion to... Well, it won't be next year at BlizzCon, because if the game launches in spring, I doubt they'll be like, oh, here's a fucking expansion a few months later. But whenever it is, a year after the launch, you then say, here's Overwatch something, and it contains 2 or 3 new heroes and new maps, and it's an expansion to the game that we've played for a year. I think at that point, going down the Blizzard expansion pack route like they do with World of Warcraft probably is the best thing for Overwatch. Now, could they be doing other things here? Because we know Overwatch is made from the remnants of Titan, okay, which they would have spent inordinate amounts of cash on to develop, okay, because they've got a lot of money anyway, and they would have just spent money, loads of cash. They realised what they were making was not going to work for whatever reason, so they turned it into this multiplayer FPS arena shooter thing we've got, which is Overwatch. Now, they said they're going to sell the game, so is that because they want to recoup costs back straight away, instead of going for the free-to-play route, where people, if the game's free-to-play, I think people tend to get the game. This is my experience of free-to-play titles anyway. You get the game, you play it for some time, then you may drop a £5, you may drop a £10. You're not paying 30 quid instantly straight away. which is what they're going to do with Overwatch. But maybe they don't actually know what they're going to do to monetize Overwatch. And maybe, right, they're like, okay, we'll just try and make money straight away, then we'll try and work out what we're doing. And maybe they're waiting to see what the uptake actually is on Overwatch.
Yeah.
Because maybe they haven't actually bothered spending any more money or whatever on additional development past what they've actually got ready to go out with Overwatch. So maybe it's just all this, it's this crazy, maybe they really don't know what they're going to do. But I find that hard to believe because I think a company would know what it's going to do in terms of monetization to make the most money. Because Blizzard has gone down this path recently of wanting to make the most money. And you can see it's very clear. They want to make the most money. They also want to make good games, but they want to make the most money. Look at the hero skins on Hearthstone. That is expensive. They're like 10 quid for a skin. At least I'm pretty sure they are. I know they're expensive anyway, just for a portrait change. Wow, come on, guys, that's expensive. Do Blizzard want their cake and eat it? Do they want to sell the box? Have a store? Well, we know they've got a cosmetic store. We know there will be a cosmetic store in the game because there's sprays, and they've added the support for sprays in the last patch. But there's only one like Overwatch logo.
And they're giving away skins with the Origin edition. So you know, there's
because of course I know I'm rambling a little bit here, and I'm not letting Miss Kirioth come in. But why didn't I thought the game would be free to play, or maybe low cost to get into, and then it would be supported with skins, weapon skins, character skins, spray skins, well, different sprays. But it looks like they do have skins because they're selling skins in the Origin edition. But are they going to have a skin store as well? Probably, because World of Warcraft has got a store in it, and you have to pay monthly for that, and so they've got this history of trying to mash it all together. And I don't know, I fear for how this game is going to develop. I think it will sell quite well because I've played it for a lot and I know it's a very solid game even in this early state. It's so enjoyable to play. Okay, you need to like FPS games. If you don't, then it's pointless. It's so fast paced.
I disagree with that. You don't need to like FPS games. I don't like FPS games. I'm crap at them.
Actually,
and it makes me not like them.
You know what? Let me just stop you there. You're true there. I say that because what are the characters I play? FPS characters,
you
basically.
Play FPS characters. I don't play FPS characters, and I fucking love the game. I think it's brilliant. But see, I disagree. I don't think they do know. I don't think they do know how they're going to market it. Because I think what they've got is they've got different. I think they went free to play with purchasable heroes and skins for Heroes of the Storm because that is what you do with that type of game. That's how Dota works, that's how League of Legends works, and those are the biggest successes. I think that's where they took their cues from that. I think they tried something of their own with Hearthstone because there wasn't really a comparable product unless you count Magic the Gathering, which has nowhere near the player base that Hearthstone does, and was, when I say it was the only competition, it wasn't really any competition anyway because Hearthstone is a very different game. So I think they kind of felt out their own thing there by providing actual expansions and of course packs in terms of microtransactions, but again free to play. I think with Overwatch they're not entirely sure how to go about it because when you look at other games, when you look at things like Team Fortress 2 and like Counter-Strike and so on, there's not really a game that you can properly compare Overwatch to because it's kind of an amalgamation of lots of different games all kind of mashed together. And I think for a start, the actual putting a price on it to begin with is kind of a mixture of getting instant revenue back, getting a feel for the game, and also I think they can afford to find out if that works. Frankly, I think they can afford to not drive people away, but if it doesn't sell as well as it should, then they can drop it down to free to play if they want to. But I think they're just not sure at the moment, and they're just like, we're going to put it up for sale. We're not entirely sure how. I think someone's at the door.
You best go answer it then.
I'm going to go and take over, sir. Take over.
So, yeah, what Kiri was saying there with the free, clearly they have systems in place that they've already designed, which are designed for free to play. Like they've obviously been working on skins. They've obviously got a store in some capacity because I can't see them giving away sprays. You've got things like player portraits as well. When you finish a level, complete a map, you can vote, and you can I think if you get 9 votes or maybe 10 votes, you get a legendary. But if you get over 5, so you get 6 votes, you get like a epic sort of thing. Now I don't know whether they're just going to change the card back for that hero and then just sort of give that for free. Or maybe they unlock things and say, well, hey, now you've got an epic hero here. Maybe you could buy this from the store. And I don't know. I think with it being free to play, though, with it not being free to play, sorry, there are positives, and I did outline these in the video that I made earlier on in the week, where this raises the barrier of entry. So I'll just let Kiri put his headset back on, and I'll just go over what I just said. So what I was saying is about the fact that the game, you have to buy the game. This raises the barrier of entry to a couple of groups of people. So people who want to hack the game effectively, they're screwed because they're going to have to keep buying the game over and over again. Look at how many people hack it and cheat in StarCraft. It's not that much because it's pretty expensive to do it. This isn't like Counter-Strike Global Offensive where you can buy the game for like £1 and then just keep going back in, or it isn't like a free-to-play game where you could maybe do that.
PlanetSide 2 apparently is rife with it.
Oh yeah, and I think H1Z1 wrecked with it, and all games like that are just like a mess with it. DayZ probably a mess with it as well, although DayZ isn't really free. But I guess it is if you've kind of got the mod. But anyway, that's a bit of a shit example, Sty. Yeah, so it raises the barrier of entry, and that's pretty good because you have to be serious to want to get into the game to begin with. So for me as a player who I know I'm going to play this game, hell, I mean, I heavily support the game as it is on the channel. I don't want wankers in the game. I want people who actually want to play the game there. Well, I do, So to me, this is better than free to play. But then I see the other side of the argument, and that does have pros and cons, where if the game is free to play, obviously the con would be, well, people could Smurf accounts would be easy to make, hacking would be more rife, blah, blah, blah. But also it gets more people into the game, and you need people into the game to make it successful. Now, the Blizzard gamble is, we're Blizzard, so we probably can sell enough copies anyway. But then, how many figures, how many numbers do you actually need for a game to be successful? Like, a lot of figures thrown around with like League of Legends, look how many people play the game. League of Legends is an insane example of a concurrent player base of a game, which is global. But most players of League of Legends do not spend money on League of Legends. It relies on the whales. It relies on the people wasting money on skins and all of that shit. But Overwatch will not rely on that because they're selling the game. So it will not rely on this. So its player base it won't need to be as much.
They might
not, do you think? I don't know.
They might not rely on it, but then again, if someone has got 30 quid to splash down on the game, you know that person has got money to spend on skins. If they're willing to spend 30 quid to get into Overwatch to begin with, then the chances are that once they've played for maybe a month or two, they've developed a couple of favourite heroes, and you produce like an amazing new skin for D.Va or whatever, that person who's dropped 30 quid in it, they're more likely to pick up a skin than the person who spends nothing. So it's almost like a vetting process. It's like, this person has got the money. They've got the money and they want to play the game. We know that they have.
This is interesting what you're saying. Why didn't Blizzard just say this? Like, why didn't Blizzard just say, look, we want to do what makes us the most money? they say that on the stage, and you just be like, well, fucking hell, you wankers, we don't want your game. But this is the crazy thing. So avoiding the question, as they have been, and they say we're not intentionally avoiding it, we just don't have an answer to it, which again is a very convenient way of getting out of the whole thing.
I think to some degree
it is uncertainty.
I think to some degree it is true though, because I think they're probably trying to work out how best to do it. Like,
I think they've got plans.
I think they've probably got plans, but they could also be very subject to change. So they could find that actually the take up on Overwatch is not good enough at 30 quid, so they might drop the price or make it free to play. Or they might find that the take up is a lot better than they thought. So they now, they could have all kinds of things.
Isn't the take up on Heroes of the Storm not very good though?
I don't
know any details about this, but you don't really see much about Heroes of the Storm.
No.
There's the odd YouTube channel that covers it. The streaming scene just seems crap for it. With the WCS, I think it did okay for views, but StarCraft destroyed it. StarCraft was like 130,000 viewers on the final. I don't think it gets over 50,000, does it? Heroes of the Storm. It seems to me like this game they've made, and it's just sort of, Hearthstone must be more profitable than that. It has to be.
Yeah. Well, it's also more casual as well, isn't it? Hearthstone. You can just pick it up and
on mobile devices. Yeah.
Heroes of the Storm is, I think, a lot more intensive, isn't it? I don't know. You're right. You don't really see much about it. But this is the thing with Overwatch. They could have all kinds of plans. They could have thought to themselves, okay, we'll make it free to play, then we'll charge for the champions or heroes or whatever. I still keep calling them champions.
Yeah, they're heroes. Divided into hero classes.
Yeah. And so it could be like, okay, we'll make it free to play, charge for the heroes. But then someone says, well, no, because we need to switch out heroes on the fly. So if we do that, then it could prove to be game breaking, because we could have a hero that one person has got, but the other team don't have a hero that's the best counter to it. So what do you do then?
And if they do that, the game will die.
Yeah. So they're like, okay, we can't do that because, the entire design revolves around being able to switch out. Okay, well, we need to fund it some way, so we can't sell heroes. What about selling skins? But we release the heroes for free. Well, yeah, but there's no guarantee that enough people will buy skins to make it worth it. Okay, well, what if we charge for skins, but we make heroes free? Okay, but how are we going to release the heroes? Do we release them one at a time, or do we? They could have like a huge, like a big roadmap of where they plan to be, but it'll all be dependent, I think, on basically how the launch goes. I think they've decided that they've got the base point. They've got the base, which is Overwatch is going to cost money to play. You're going to have to buy you have to buy access to the game. That's the only way you can do it. And then from that point on, I think they're going to decide which branch of the roads they're going to go down. Whether they're going to start releasing expansions, whether it's
it's getting dark and it's fucking 2:20.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? It's like they could do it so that like 6 months down the line, you get an expansion pack for free because they've launched a skin store. Like maybe they launch a skin store. If the skin store does really well, expansions are free. If the skin store does nothing, people don't pay for skins because they've already paid to enter the game, expansions cost a tenner or something.
It's this idea of free content drops, which you've never seen. Well, Blizzard do this because when they have like major patches to World of Warcraft, they add more shit to the game, don't they?
Yeah.
Okay, you can maybe be cynical and go, well, it should have been there at the expansion start anyway. But they do that. So maybe, I think ideally for me, right, and I did say about 10 or 15 minutes ago that maybe the way they're going to go is this expansion route where you have to buy the expansion every year or so. But I think right now, I would like it to be you buy the game, and then they give you content drops for free. So they give you new map, new heroes. But in conjunction with this, they add more skins to the other heroes because that new wave creates new interest, and then you buy the skins. Because I'm telling you right now, I would buy skins for this game because I have got 3 characters that I really enjoy playing. I like playing Junkrat. I like playing Widowmaker. Actually, there's kind of a few I like playing, but let's just say 2. My 2 primary ones would be Widowmaker and Junkrat. I really like those heroes. Like, I really like playing them to the point of I would buy a skin for them. I like playing Soldier 76. Maybe I wouldn't buy a skin for him though. But you can see, like, that's good.
Yeah.
Like, if I give you a $5 for a skin, or even $9.99 for a skin, then I'm going to be worth a lot to you. So that's what I'd like them to do. And then, of course, sprays. It would be nice to have unique kind of sprays. But then maybe what I'd like them to do for sprays, maybe more of like, if you get the legendary, so 10 people, I think it's 10 people have to vote for you at the end, you get like a special spray that you can put on the wall just to show that, in one game I was legendary or something like that. I don't know. But it's going to be interesting seeing how this develops. I think right now, the game is pretty solid, and they've been adding more people into the beta. There's obviously balance. There's people like McCree, who's fucking OP as shit, and he needs to be sorted out.
I hate McCree.
Yeah, he's OP. And the reason why he's OP is because he's good at long range, short range, and close range.
He does ridiculous damage at every single range. You can get killed as Widowmaker, and Widowmaker's a sniper. You can be killed by McCree at maximum range. But also, if McCree fights you close range, like fights a tank close range, he can kill the tank as well, straight away, because he's got a stun. And I experienced this as Diva a couple of times yesterday because we had a McCree in the matches that we were in, and he just kept fucking running up to me, threw his stupid smoke bomb in my face. It stunned me, and then he unleashed all 6 bullets right into me, and my bloody mech died every time. But then if you're all the way across the map and he spots you, he fucking kills you from there as well. It's like McCree. Do you want to piss off McCree? But
there's balance issues, but I mean that's what the beta's there designed for. And it'll be fixed, but. The thing is, you can see how the game's going to operate, though, can't you? When we've played it enough now, you can see how this is going to go down, and you can see how it's going to be very.
If they did,
it is going to be competitive, and it's.
If they did Diablo 3 style big content patches, new heroes, new maps, these are free. They're funded by Skin Store, they're funded by sprays, and they're funded by the initial purchase price. I would absolutely be okay with that. I'd be fine with that. I'd be perfectly happy because, like you, there's a few characters I really like playing, and I'd buy skins for. I'd buy a Zarya skin in a heartbeat because I play that character a hell of a lot, and I really enjoy it. So, it's going to be interesting to see how it develops because I think, as I said, I think they kind of know vaguely what they're going to do, but it depends very much on what happens when it launches. I don't think they've got it finalized, and I think when they're saying we don't know, I think in a way it's a lie because I think they've got plenty of ideas. But in a way, I think it's the truth because they're not sure which of those ideas they're going to implement at this point in time. So,
and they're probably feeling the community out because they constantly keep saying like we're reading this, we're looking at this, we're looking at that because they want to see what will go down the best for them. Because the last thing they want is people to just go crazy. Because what they've got here, and they know this, they've made something that's amazing gameplay, and they don't want to wreck it by just suddenly going, aha, and now you've got to buy this and buy that because the backlash would be severe, like horrendously severe, especially in this day and age where you've got YouTube and you've got Twitch and everything else. Your games can get wrecked real quick. And the last thing Blizzard want is to be seen as evil Blizzard because they're not. At the moment, they're Blizzard and they're trying to make money Blizzard and we're making games Blizzard. But that can quickly change. Suddenly you can become an EA. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just like EA now. Or well, even EA are trying to get out of that, but they're still slightly, very dodgy. Ubisoft, and you get all of this shit though. So,
well, the last bit of Blizzard-related news that we have is the fact that Diablo 3 is getting another patch. It is now available for testing, and once again, as they are wont to do, I'll just stick this up here. It's the 2.4 patch. And it adds even more stuff. So you've got a new zone called Grey Hollow Island, 2 new expanded areas called the Eternal Forest and the Royal Quarters, loads of new creatures and story and lore and stuff. And there's also new actual gameplay features as well, including set dungeons and empowered rifts. And empowered rifts let players further upgrade their legendary gems. So when entering one of Diablo 3's greater rifts, players have the option to spend some gold to make it empowered, do so, and they'll be able to add a 4th upgrade to their legendary gems. And apparently the empowered rifts are a gold sink for people who have billions of gold.
Billions!
So that when you've got a surplus, then you can, spend some of it. And there's a new Kanai's Cube recipe as well that utilises legendary gems. And there's also set dungeons, which are designed to teach players how to play their class sets better. So set dungeons might at first blush seem like an end game feature, but it's one that we've worked hard to make accessible. Set dungeons are designed where power doesn't matter so much. You don't have to be super high level to beat them. They're actually designed to help you learn how to play the class armor sets. It's a fairly broad feature. Don't get me wrong, to complete all 24 and master all of them, I'm not expecting many people to do that, but if you find a set and want to test it yourself, it'll help you learn the set. Maybe you'll play a set you've never played before or a class you've never played before, and it'll help you learn the game a little better. So that when I say kind of Diablo 3S content patches, that's what I'm talking about. That game,
like comprehensive, massive patches which just give you loads of stuff to do.
Just keeps improving and building and improving and building. And that actually makes me want to go back and try Diablo 3 again. I'd like to see the new areas.
Well, I mean, Diablo 3's the weird one, isn't it? Which launched and was completely shit, and they. Okay, it might have been the fastest selling PC game of all time, whatever it was at the time, and it might still be actually. And people were like, "This is terrible," and then they gradually fixed it, and it's like credit to them for doing that because they could have just left it, but they didn't. They fixed it because financially they would have made a shitload of money off the sale. So it looks like a win, doesn't it? Even if people think it was shit, but no, they fixed it and they gradually won the community back. And Reaper of Souls was good.
They're still updating it a long time after. They could get away with not doing this. Frankly, they could. No one's going to be sitting there and going, "Oh well, we haven't seen a massive Diablo 3 patch for a while," because you don't tend to see that much about the game until a massive patch drops, and then it's like, "Oh yeah, Diablo 3." You don't hear negative stuff, so you wouldn't notice if it didn't happen. But they're still doing it. They're still updating the game. Whenever I think about games that should have continued support or games that could do with continued support, I think of Diablo 3 and Reaper of Souls and all the patches they've dropped and all the changes they've made, and it's like that to me is like that's become the gold standard of game maintenance, where it's not just keeping it going, it's actually trying to improve the product even though you are months and months and years past the actual release date of the game. You're still going, and you can see from stuff like that why it is that the guys from Destiny had the development team for Reaper of Souls come and talk to them. Because they obviously know what they're doing and they're doing it right. So this is not quite as good. Well, it could be, depending on how you think about such things. Twitch is bringing back Bob Ross, The Joy of Painting, every Monday. So if you are unaware of this, Twitch did a 9-day streaming marathon of Bob Ross's The Joy of Painting. It came to an end on Friday, and more than 183,000 viewers watched the final episode of the PBS Painting Show being streamed. More than 5.6 million viewers total watched Bob paint last week, making Bob Ross one of Twitch's most popular channels for a time. So naturally, Twitch is bringing Bob Ross back to its streaming service. Every Monday, Twitch will run one full season of The Joy of Painting on the Bob Ross channel, starting at 3 p.m. and ending at 9:30 p.m. Twitch has the rights to the stream all 31 seasons of the show, saying that repeats will happen once every 7 months. And each year, on October 29th, Ross's birthday, Twitch will stream the entire series again for another marathon. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, right, why do I care?
Yeah.
So, one of the biggest problems with this is that the reason that they had Bob Ross being streamed in the first place was to celebrate the launch of the revamped creative section on Twitch. So you may not realise this unless you've seen Sty streaming Warhammer 40k painting, or whether you've seen Giant Waffle talk about it occasionally. There is a creative section on Twitch, which is not for video games. It is for crafts. It's for like painting, drawing, designing. I've even seen someone building a website on there once.
Yeah, you get like programming on there. You get there's a blacksmith was on there. There was there's a leatherworking guy. There's a tattoo geezer on there, like a tattoo artist. Tattoo geezer, right, mate?
I haven't seen that. That'd be interesting. But yeah, it's you'd be forgiven for not knowing it's there because it's not exactly pushed hard. You know, it's not massively promoted. It's just something extra that happens on Twitch. But they decided to switch it up. They wanted to make more of a big deal out of it, so they made it so that the creative directory has like its own homepage, doesn't it? So if you go to the homepage of Twitch, there's like the bar at the top, and it's got various streams that are running right now. They made it so that the creative directory is like a replica of the front page, in that you've got, you know, a big highlight reel at the top of different creative streams that are on at the time. The Bob Ross thing was meant to be a celebration of the new launch of the creative section of Twitch. But I'll be perfectly honest, at this point I don't think anyone even knows that. All they know is that Bob Ross is on Twitch, and lol, isn't it funny, Bob Ross is on Twitch. If you go to the chat whilst Bob Ross is on, it's like the worst of Twitch chat condensed into one stream. It's just an endless repetition of maybe one or two words and the little Kappa Ross face that's Kappa but with Bob Ross's hairstyle. The announcement that they're doing it again every Monday, I know that there are going to be people who are going to sit there and go, oh, well, it's just something fun they're doing for the community. Well, no, not really, especially since there's a subscribe button on Bob Ross's Twitch channel, so you can literally subscribe to the channel of, without wishing to sound insensitive, a dead guy, who I'd imagine not going to be making much out of it himself because, well, he's not around anymore. So having a subscribe button on the channel is kind of laughable. It completely defeats the point of launching a new creative stream, and it completely defeats the point of having people stream in the creative directory, because it means that for like 6.5 hours every Monday, no other creative stream is going to get any traffic because everyone will just be watching fucking Bob Ross. Ignoring the fact that you can already watch it on YouTube because he's got his own channel, which has got episodes on there. You can buy the guy's DVDs, you can buy his painting lessons, you can buy entire kits off his website. But no, we'll stream it on a Monday so that anyone else doing creative streams on a Monday will just get fucked because they're not going to be watched because people are going to be watching Bob Ross. It's
all right. So I'm a creative streamer on Twitch, and I'm one of the biggest creative streamers on Twitch, who streams all the time. It's not just like a big channel that comes in and does a bit of cooking and gets 10,000 views or whatever. For like being part of that Twitch community, I've streamed a lot this year on there. I am the most consistent Warhammer model painting and construction stream. I like to think it's a really good quality because of all the setup. I mean, you can see it behind me where I've got the camera set up. A lot of you guys have probably seen it where, you know, I tweet out pictures of stuff I've been working on and stuff like that. So it is very detailed and it's set up perfectly to show exactly what I'm doing. Now, when Twitch told me, because they told me a while back, like about 2 months ago, they said, we're going to reinvent the creative section because we think it's something that's really unique to Twitch. It's not just this dark hole of the website, which it basically was before, where it's like people go to Twitch to watch games, not some random dude. Because I think there was problems before where there was a guy who was making Hearthstone card. I think might have been the leatherworking guy, but was making Hearthstone like card back wallets and stuff. But he was making it in the Hearthstone directory, and Twitch turned him off because he was not playing the game. He was sitting there making a Hearthstone because he should be in creative. This guy's argument, though, Yeah, but if I'm in creative, nobody will watch me, which is totally true because who goes to creative? The only viewers that come to watch my stream are viewers off me advertising to the Unit Lost fan base. It's not from Twitch. It's not like some random guy comes along and he's like, oh, Warhammer, because who the hell is searching Twitch for Warhammer? So when they said we're going to reinvent it, I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be great. They're going to give it like, they're going to promote the streams on maybe with their main Twitter account, maybe on their homepage and all of this stuff. But what actually they did is they've turned twitch.tv/creative into its own front page. So again, you still have to go to creative to get there. And you've got like this carousel, which has got channels on there. Now, Twitch said to me, because I was one of the creative streamers they were talking to, we're going to put you in the carousel. Now, I haven't actually been in the carousel yet, but I've only streamed a couple of times since this has been revamped. But this is designed so when you go to creative, you would see, oh, what's this guy doing Warhammer? Because obviously they want the better streams in there and the streams that are more frequent, not just one-off streams. And then comes this big idea they must have had. You know what would be funny, guys? If we use Bob Ross to promote this? Yeah, it is a good idea. Everybody was talking about Bob Ross, and it was getting massive views. The creative section was like the biggest viewed category on Twitch for a long time. That's going to get people who look at the gaming categories, which a lot of people do. When I look at Twitch, I always click browse games, and I see all the games. They're going to be like, shit, I came for League of Legends. What the hell is this? They click on that, and then they have a look and think, oh, wow, what's this? Problem is, they just go into Bob Ross. They don't look at any of the other streams. But yeah. It's really telling when you see Bob Ross' stream was on, and it might have 70,000 viewers. The next biggest stream, 200 viewers. Nobody clicks on them because this Bob Ross thing has become a stupid joke, and everybody's spamming Bob Ross all over the place. You see people, big streamers like Soda Poppin and people like that would just imitate Bob Ross to take the piss out of him. They're painting along with Bob Ross. Oh, it's like a Twitch phenomenon. Yeah, it is. But it was designed to get people into creative, to show off what Twitch creative is. But actually, it's just become this stupid fucking Twitch meme, Bob Ross, where nobody actually looks at the other creative stuff. So for me, as somebody who does creative stuff, and I like to think that the creative stuff I do is fairly good, and it's enjoyable to watch, and it's unique, they are not going, you know what, Sty, we want to promote your stream. They're just sending people to the directory to watch a dead guy paint. And it's like, well, and it's only for their benefit, really.
Well, yeah, because, like I say, you can access material elsewhere, and it's kind of, it's got nothing to do with the creative directory and everything to do with lol Bob Ross, which
lol Bob Ross is basically
completely defeats the purpose. And given how many people talk about how amazing Bob Ross was and how they met him and how he's so nice and kind and how he just loves supporting people painting and stuff, I can only imagine how at least mildly annoyed he'd be if he was actually alive and someone was like, we're going to use you to promote other people's stuff. And he went, yeah, that's great. And then it just ended up being, we're going to use you to promote yourself and no one else is going to get a look in. Because I'd imagine, given what people have said about him, it's not exactly what he would have wanted, to be honest. Because it's not really helping anyone, but it's a stupid decision. I can't get behind it at all. And it's only... The whole Kappa thing with Twitch, I know Twitch is like a breeding ground for memes and stuff, and whatever, that's fine. That's just the kind of culture that's there. But, and I know that Twitch likes to play into it, but they need
Twitch cleverly uses it. It is clever with it.
Yeah, but they kind of need to distinguish between playing into it and making it the overriding point. Like they need to distinguish between we're doing this because some people find it funny and we're going to keep doing it on the basis it'll always be funny and therefore make it so that everyone misses the point, because that's what they've done. Really, they've made it so that the whole point of it is just lost on the vast majority of people watching Bob Ross. I would have loved to have somehow got some sort of poll going for the people watching him. Did you know that there's a new creative section on Twitch? Because they won't have known. They won't. They'll have just gone to Twitch and seen
they've just gone to Bob Ross's channel.
Yeah. Oh, he's got 50,000 views. Lol, it's Bob Ross. And that would have been the entire reaction. It's like, okay, well done. Brilliant. It's helped no one. It's just been...
Yeah.
And now it's not going to help anyone every Monday for 6.5 hours. So, got that to look forward to.
But they're also going to replay it for the Europeans as well. So, I mean, you could be like, okay, Bob Ross. When the Bob Ross thing hit, I seen it. I laughed at myself. I thought, hey, that's pretty clever, and I started streaming immediately because I thought, oh, you know what, this is going to get new blood. The stream just did no different, no. And yet there was hundreds of thousands watching Bob Ross, and I'm like the 5th highest stream in the creative section. So I'm on the first line, and I've got nobody. Nobody, and it's like, okay, this is me moaning because I want more people to watch my stream. You're damn right it is, because I spend hours doing the stream and I fucking really enjoy it. And I think I enjoy the Warhammer fucking model painting hobby enough as it is, and I want to show the people. And there's a lot of people out there who enjoy it, and it's such a fun stream to do. But then,
Although, in fairness, if anyone's sitting there going, "Oh, you're just moaning because you're not getting as many viewers," there's also the fact that Twitch outright said we're trying to make creative bigger and better, and so that more people will find it and view it, and then they haven't done that. That's also a big part of it. They've said they'll do something, and the way they implemented it has been so shit that it's meant that it's made no difference whatsoever to the people that they've promised it to. It's like they've done a YouTube for the first time in ages. Twitch have done a YouTube. They've come up with a feature. They've come up with a redesign, and it's just been really crap because they've implemented it really poorly. Like the idea they had hasn't worked. See fucking YouTube gaming, YouTube Red, all of that. This is Twitch's version. They've decided to go full YouTube for this one, and it's just turned out to be a complete waste of time for everyone, but apparently Bob Ross. So.
And Bob Ross Incorporated, or whatever his company is. Yeah. I've got to say something. Bob Ross's products are horrendously expensive. I've seen them in Hobbycraft, and there's like a stand, and it's just all of Bob Ross shit, and it's like Bob Ross's easel, Bob Ross's fucking titanium white bloody paint, and Bob Ross's brush set, and it's like 30 quid. I mean, it's worse than Games Workshop prices for brushes and shit. It's like, what
Which is saying something.
And also, Bob Ross is a shit painter. He's bad. Ooh. Bob Ross is just a guy who likes. I mean, the whole point of Bob Ross is not gonna. Right, I firmly believe you cannot be taught paint and produce art. You cannot be taught to produce art. You can be taught to paint, though. And Bob Ross teaches you to paint in a very childish style, and it always looks the same. Mountains and trees and cabins and lakes. That's all he ever shows you, right? And okay, there is some technique. There is some technique involved in that. And I guess people do enjoy sitting down one day and think, oh, I'm going to do a Bob Ross painting. It's not art, though. That is not art. You cannot be taught to be an artist. It's like me with the Warhammer stuff. That is not art. It's not art. It's like a hobby. It's no different than like, Bob Ross, really. You know, you're just painting, you're going through the motions. It's not like I'm some genius and I've produced the next fucking Michelangelo or something. No.
This is the thing that kind of makes me laugh when occasionally you'll see on like the front page of Reddit, someone's like, I decided to do a painting like Bob Ross. And you look at it and it looks exactly like a painting by Bob Ross because all of his paintings look the same and all the paintings he teaches you to paint are identical, and it's like I'm always like,
but he's supposed to be like that anyway. That's the whole point. Of it's the joy of painting. It's
in a way, I'm impressed because I know I probably wouldn't be able to do that. But it's like I don't show up with I'm not going to show up somewhere when the Betrayal at Calthbox arrives, and I've painted my word bearers and be like, look at this masterpiece I've created because I have painted a word bearer of the same color scheme that Games Workshop has. Because that's that's not what it is. It's like.
Anyway, Bob Ross. It was a good idea, but now they're milking it too much, and they need to just stop. And what they need to do instead of promoting Bob fucking Ross is every week on like a fucking Monday or a Tuesday, whatever it is, they should promote a fucking creative streamer. They should say, now it's the big stream with Unit Lost, or now it's the big stream with the leather guy, or now it's the big stream with the blacksmith guy, or something. Because then people will be like, wow, I didn't know this was a thing. Instead, it's like, no, we're just going to spam Bob Ross again.
And we already knew that Bob Ross was a thing. So no one needed telling that Bob Ross was a thing. Everyone already knew about Bob Ross. Anyway, let's move on. We've only got a couple of topics left here. So this I quite like. I like the idea of this. Rise of the Tomb Raider. It has some interesting Twitch interactivity on Xbox One. So Xbox One owners who stream Rise of the Tomb Raider via the system's Twitch integration can let their viewers decide how the game progresses in certain ways, making it easier, more difficult, or just plain weirder. Microsoft Crystal Dynamics and Twitch announced today. Viewers watching someone else stream the game can also benefit receiving in-game gifts by watching select in-game events. So, Rise of the Tomb Raider's Twitch integration can be experienced by players when streaming the game's Expedition mode. At certain points in that mode, viewers can vote via Twitch chat on one of two Expedition cards. Those cards will then grant special modifiers like making the enemies more difficult or engaging Big Head mode. According to Twitch's official FAQ, the game features a curated set of 64 cards that have been arranged into 186 pairs for viewers to vote on. And if viewers do tune in, if they watch certain moments in Expedition modes like side missions, challenge streams, and special achievements, they can earn in-game currency. I actually, you know what? I
like this.
I like this.
You know what? I really do. I liked this before. There was another game which had Twitch integration.
That was Party Hard.
Yeah. I like that because it's like Twitch is the new thing on the block, ain't it? It's like if you can, like, I like it because as a streamer, this gives me Twitch like chat interaction. It would be really funny if the chat could impact the game. It's like Quiplash,
Yeah,
where it's really funny, and the Jackbox games are because the Twitch chat can take part in what you're doing. Like you're not just like a pointless observer; you're actually impacting what's going on. And I
yeah,
really like it when developers are starting to become clever and like integrate that into their game. Obviously, they want big streamers to stream it. That's why they're doing it. Let's not be stupid here.
yeah,
It's not
yeah,
so you can stream it with your mate. They want it so fucking Lyric plays the game and he's like, whoa, and he's got fucking 50,000 viewers or something. It's a clever marketing trick, but I think for a small stream like the Unit Lost stream, I think it would benefit the stream quite a bit
yeah,
because it means that we can have a lot of interaction with our chat because our chat's highly interactive as well, and
yeah,
we highly interact with them as well. Imagine if Fallout 4 had some sort of chat Twitch integration where they could like vote on certain things or make things happen or something. That might be funny. It might have
yeah,
made the game
yeah.
a bit palatable. But there you go.
I reckon you should. I still reckon you should do Party Hard. You should stream
I
Party
don't like
Hard.
Party Hard though. It fucking annoys me. I played Party Hard and I'm like, oh, this is shit.
See, I
But
really
got
enjoyed
bored
that. I
and I
really
just
enjoyed
fucking
that
run in.
game.
Yeah, I know that's why you made the video on it because I was just like, fuck this. I,
Just ain't
I
got the
looked at it, I'm
patience
like,
for it. Just like
no, because I just was running and just start butchering people and it didn't work. I set fire to
that's
one
because you
room.
played the game wrong.
Yeah,
It's
I
not the
know.
game's fault. That's you.
I was trying to assassinate people with it, like just kill them and drag them off, and I just had a room full of bodies, and then somebody just walked into the room. I was like, oh,
God. Maybe not then. Oh well. Christ. Anyway, let's say I'm going to move on from that.
actually,
13
hang on, I've got a fucking present for you, bloke.
Oh,
It's the latest StarCraft thumbnail. I'll send it you so we can get a live reaction.
okay. Okay, let me go back to. I'll tell you what, I'll carry on with this just while you send it over. This is. I switched over to the desktop and I don't know why because you don't really need to see it. 13 years late, Relic's Impossible Creatures hit Steam. So, back in 2002, around March time, Valve Software formally announced Steam, which was a weird kind of game downloading program, and to entice other developers into putting their games on Steam, at the Game Developers Conference, they demonstrated Relic's Impossible Creatures running on it. It never came out. It was never released on Steam. It just didn't appear. But now it has. 13 years later, you can now buy
It's just
Impossible
so random,
Creatures
isn't it?
on Steam. And apparently, it does say that consumers with a broadband connection can purchase and start their applications faster than if they install them from a CD. So that's nice. So if you want Impossible Creatures, it's £5.39 and it's
13
time
years
travel.
ago, a broadband connection would be 128 kilobits. It would be, wouldn't it? 128. Do you remember?
Hang on,
I
I'm
had
gonna-
my. Do you want to see the thumbnail?
I've just put it on the screen.
I didn't even bother highlighting your face. I just left it. I just left it. I just left it. Look at it.
God.
What a work of art.
Christ.
Our thumbnail game has gone up in recent months.
Oh,
it has gone to another level.
It's amazing. So yeah, I mean, why now? I don't know. But
That's random.
I just saw it and I was like, what? Why? And it does have Steam features. I mean, it's got
Go
Steam
make
cloud
Dawn of War
support and
3,
stuff.
you wankers, instead of releasing this shit.
13 years later, Christ.
But you can
Anyway.
make your own units, son. Quality.
Can you make a dreadnought? Because I didn't think. Just make your own Dawn of War 3 out of Impossible Creatures.
In a 13-year-old
Terrible. The final thing, the last thing we have.
I need to
this
play
is-
Dawn of War.
This is only
need to play it
it's only
again.
a small thing. It's
Give it
probably Dawn of War. JJ Abrams, an Infinity Blade developer, have teamed up for an espionage strategy game, Spy Jinx, which is like hijinks but with spy. I have no idea why JJ Abrams is helping to produce a game called Spy Jinx. I assume that the game is going to feature copious amounts of lens flare and reflective stuff because that's what JJ Abrams does primarily. Lens flares the shit out of everything.
JJ Abrams is just a director, and he owns Bad Robot, doesn't he? Which just do loads
Yeah.
of fucking CGI. He doesn't come up with stories or anything, does he? Because I mean,
No.
I'm trying to think of films he's made. It's just like Star Trek is a script and do it. Unless he makes the script, I highly doubt that. And
No, he
Star
doesn't.
Wars, I
He don't.
very fucking highly doubt they're making
You don't
scripts
write
for
the
that
scripts
Disney.
for the Star Trek films, at least, because Simon Pegg's writing the script for the third one. So Abrams
Well,
got nothing to do with it.
So all he's doing is he's just basically the director, the guy who films it, and the guy who rams the special effects. And so what the hell is he doing on a game?
I've
He's
no
going
idea.
to provide the graphics for the game, but that's not the same because it's just pre-rendered.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's like a Del Toro thing.
Oh wait,
With,
it's just his
with,
name's
like-
attached to it. Yeah, so it's like,
like
oh
Silent
yeah,
Hill
the
or something.
direction. Yeah,
Which is still dead, by the
Yeah.
way. So, enjoy that.
I thought we were going to get away with not mentioning anything to do with that for once. For fuck's sake.
You gotta never forget, bloke. R.I.P. Press F to pay respects. You fucking meme-using wankers. Anyway.
RIP. All that means to me now is a rip tire for Junkrat. It's ultimate. His RIP tire.
Fire in the hole!
Tick, 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 tock, we're about to win. Wherever he shouts. I don't know.
We're going to win.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we're going to win.
that is Hotfix for
Jesus.
today,
Ladies
ladies
and gentlemen, it
and
was beautiful.
As always, link you there for Patreon. Link you down there for Patreon. If you support now, then you will get prizes. And the prize is Stylosa mispronouncing your name at the start of the next Hotfix.
Atrociously.
And people have commented on this before about how the name pronunciation has been bad. We've always said that we'll like say your name in the next Hotfix.
If you put a line through the middle of an L, that does not compute in my brain.
We've never once suggested that we'll actually do it well. We've only said that we'll do it. So, I mean, it's the same principle as videos of games that we've never played before. We're saying we're producing a video on it. We're not saying we're like masters of the game, only that we're playing
dropping
it.
these dice. Why am I holding
Why
these
don't
dice? I'm going down onto the floor to get one I've dropped. Carry on.
Well, that's the end of Hotfix, ladies and gentlemen. Come
Bye.
back on Saturday for Pubcast at 2 p.m. and keep your eye out for more StarCraft, because there's more of that on the channel today, tomorrow, and Saturday, in fact. So, yeah. We will see you next time. Thank you very much for watching. Toodaloo.